Through these videos of mine, I will share with you the formula for success. There will be three parts. Part 1 will deal with definition of success and its attributes. Part 2 will be about the qualities of highly successful people. And in part 3, I will share the action plan to become successful. If you look for meaning of success in the dictionary, it says the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So with this explanation, one thing gets clear, that to achieve success, you should first know what you're aiming for. What is your goal, your purpose? The aim and goal and purpose will differ from individual to individual. So for one person, a hike of 5% in salary is success. For another, a monthly income of $1 million is success. For someone, success could be bringing up the children the right way or reading an X number of books in a year. The examples are endless. How do you define success? That is important because until you know what success means to you, you cannot achieve it. Your aim or your goal or your purpose can also be called expectations. Meeting of those expectations is success. How do you meet your expectations? By performing, by taking steps, by getting into action. You have clarified with yourself what your expectations are. Now all that you have to do is to link your performance with your purpose. The same thing as is done in the corporate world. Your manager sets the expectations based on the organization's goals, and then you have to perform to meet those expectations. Success doesn't come by fluke. We have to understand this fact. We cannot just not do anything and hope one day we will be successful. That's just not possible. Now let me make one thing clear here. If you're aiming for something that doesn't give you joy, then better not to aim for it because success doesn't bring happiness. Happiness holds the key to success as per American businessman Herman Cain. You have to love what you're doing. Let me share an example. You are unhappy with your job and yet you're hoping for promotion. You think if you get promoted, you will have achieved success. Let's assume you get promoted. How does that change things for you? You are in the same office, doing more or less the same stuff, except that you are one level higher, but you're still unhappy. What's the point of achieving success, in this case your promotion, and still being unhappy? Does it make sense? No. So first ask yourself, are you enjoying what you're doing? If the answer is no, then you have to reflect and decide what next to do. Knowing what next to do could be success for you because now you know what you have to do in your life. If the answer is yes, that you're enjoying what you're doing, then you should know that to go a level up, you have to do something about it. Only hoping won't help. Are you mentally ready to handle higher responsibility? Do you have the necessary skills and qualifications required for that job? If the answer is no, then you have to start working on them immediately. In my third video, I will explain more about this when I talk about the action plan. But if your answer is yes, that you are mentally ready and you have the skills and qualifications for the job, then switch your thought process and start thinking like how a person one level above thinks. You cannot continue to think like a clerk if you wish to become an officer, or like an officer if you want to become a manager, or like a manager if you want to become CEO. So changing the way you think is necessary for success. Why thinking is important? In one of the books I read that 77% of everything we think is negative, counterproductive, and works against us. In that same book, it is mentioned that 75% of all illnesses are self-induced. Why do we think negatively? Because right from the day we were born, we have been hearing only no from our parents, from our teachers, from our relatives, from our siblings, from our neighbors, friends. Don't do this, don't do that, you should not take risk, you should not go there, you can't do it, you cannot do it, you shouldn't even try. So many cannots that to tell your mind you can is like climbing Mount Everest. We have been programmed for failing. So to achieve success, you have to replace the programming of can'ts with cans.